Another month has gone by in Smash Ultimate, and with it, another month of tournaments. The amazing Covert Ghoul that I mentioned in my previous tier list has not only been keeping track of more tournaments during the month of January, but also came up with a new scoring system that uses much more data to get a more accurate picture of which characters are coming out on top. Now before we get into this tier list, please allow me to explain how all of this works, and address some of the concerns with the previous tier list. If you don't care for any of that and just want to see the tiers, feel free to skip to the end of the video. And if you just want to see all of this data laid out, feel free to check out the spreadsheet link in the video description below. Once again, all of the credit for putting this data together goes to Covert Ghoul. Please give him a follow on Twitter and a thank you for all of this incredible information. So the main concern with the previous tier list was that the scoring system had the potential to be highly skewed by character popularity. A first place tournament finish would net a character 10 points, regardless of whether it was a major event with hundreds of people or a small local get-together. So for example, a lot of people could have been using Inkling at small local events in the first month because Inkling was an exciting new character, and getting lots of points towards the old scoring system for placing top 8. This is how a character's popularity could get them high up on the list, despite the character not really performing all that well at big tournaments that really matter. Not saying that Inkling didn't perform well at big tournaments in the first month, it's just an example. Not only does the new scoring system take into account the top 1/6 of every tournament regardless of the size, characters are awarded points based on the size of the tournament. So larger tournaments award more points than smaller ones, instead of first place getting 10 points regardless of the tournament size, like last month. The formula for the new scoring system even took me a while to understand, so I'll just do a quick and easy example and not spend too much time on it. The new formula is placement value multiplied by number of entrants. The easiest way to understand this is by using a hypothetical tournament with 288 entrants. Since we're only looking at the top 1/6 of every tournament, 288 entrants divided by 6 leaves us with the top 48. Placement value is how many points a character gets for their position in the top 1/6 of the tournament. Since our example of 288 people works out to a perfect top 48, the placement value for first place is 48 points, second place is 47 points, third place is 46 points, and so on and so forth. Using our formula of placement value times number of entrants, to find out how many points first place gets, we do 48 times 288 entrants, which equals 13,824 points for getting first place at a tournament with 288 people. Second place would be 47 times 288, and so on, all the way to 48th place, which would be 1 times 288, awarding that character only 288 points compared to the first place's 13,824 points. Obviously, for tournaments under 288 people, the top 1/6 doesn't perfectly work out to a top 48, so another formula is used to score those placements relative to a top 48. Alright, enough numbers and math, let's get into this tier list. Just like last time, it's 100% based on tournament results and not my opinion. The date ranges from January 5th to February 5th, excluding Genesis, and of course Piranha Plant won't be on this list because it came out right at the end of January. So who's at the bottom tier for month 2? We've got Lucario, Sheik, Samus, Little Mac, Rosalina, Ice Climbers, Corrin, Dr. Mario, Wii Fit Trainer, Mii Brawler, and sadly, Kirby comes in last place. Now it's important to note that along with Piranha Plant at the end of January, we also got a balance patch that gave certain characters pretty significant buffs, one of them being Rosalina and Luma. Apparently I didn't know how bad Rosalina actually was because she got a big list of positive changes, so it's quite possible we'll see her start moving up the list in the future. I know I mentioned her last month referencing the attack cancelling tech and saying she might climb the list then, but actual buffs to a character's kit are far more significant than a niche advanced technique, so we'll see what happens. You might have already noticed that I've separated the Echo Fighters, but we'll get to that a little bit later. At our low tier section, we have Mewtwo, Villager, Duck Hunt, Marth, Bowser Jr., Incineroar, Isabelle, Pit, Dark Samus, Ganondorf, King K. Rool, Mii Sword Fighter, Zelda, Ryu, Jigglypuff, Simon, Mii Gunner, and Ken. I'm not going to spend too much time on this tier because, to be honest, the bottom 2 tiers aren't that much different from last month. The Mii fighters are still all in the bottom 2 tiers, and it looks like the newcomer popularity is starting to wear off for Incineroar, and maybe even the Belmonts. At the mid tier, we have Falco, Shulk, Dedede, Mr. Game & Watch, Luigi, Pac-Man, Bowser, DK, Richter, Diddy Kong, Captain Falcon, Robin, Meta Knight, Pikachu, Lucas, Ridley, and Bayonetta. Here we see huge improvements in characters like Pac-Man, Falco, and Luigi, who were all at the very bottom tier last month. Just a quick search of Luigi Grand Finals on YouTube will bring up tons of videos of Elegant getting top 8 with Luigi, and players like Sinji and Mog have been doing well with Pac-Man with a couple of top 8 finishes of their own. Moving on to the high mid tier, we have Olimar, Lucina, Pokemon Trainer, Peach, Yoshi, Mega Man, Mario, Wario, Chrom, Greninja, Toon Link, Zero Suit Samus, Daisy, Young Link, Roy, and Sonic. Now the reason why I haven't been combining Echo Fighters like last time is because I just feel like this way is more fair since there are small differences between the characters, even Peach and Daisy. However, last time I made the mistake by combining their scores and not dividing the result by 2 to get the average. And I realized if I did that this time, the characters wouldn't actually move all that far, so it wouldn't really make that much of a difference. Peach and Daisy would end up around here, Chrom and Roy would be about here, Ken and Ryu would end up here, Pit and Dark Pit are literally already beside each other, Samus and Dark Samus would end up here, and the biggest change would actually be Marth and Lucina, who have an entire tier between them, and they would end up around here. One significant thing I noticed about this tier is that Peach and Daisy have fallen pretty far from their top tier spots, and characters like Ike and Rob actually did better over the past month, pushing them into the high tier section with Inklings, Pichu, Ness, Cloud, and Link. Players using Link have been doing a lot better this month, seeing how last month Link just barely made it into the better half of the roster, and this month he's literally 1 spot away from being top 10. Ike and Pichu have also been doing really well this month, and this data doesn't even include Genesis results, where MKLeo and Void had incredible performances with Ike and Pichu respectively. Both characters have amazing high damage combos and reliable kill confirms, and in my opinion, they'll probably stay high up on the tier list unless future balance patches significantly change them. And now, for the very top of the list, the best performing characters over the last month are Fox, Wolf, Snake, and Palutena. While it might be surprising to some, Snake is still one of the best characters in the game. The reason why I don't think that's very surprising at all is because Snake was either rated the best character in the game or second best for the majority of Brawl's lifespan, and he's pretty much the same character in Smash Ultimate. Fox, Wolf, and Palutena landed in the high tier section last month, so it isn't all that surprising to see that people have continued to push the metagame for these characters, and the results definitely reflect that. Palutena has incredibly strong zoning tools with Explosive Flame and her long-range normals and smash attacks, and if she gets up close, her aerials have ridiculous amounts of combo potential. Her neutral air easily combos into itself and is a super fast out of shield option, and her up air is a great juggling move, and it's extremely scary to get hit by because it also has a ton of knockback. Wolf has one of the best projectiles in the game with a wide variety of other moves that are both fast and strong. Just like Fox, Wolf doesn't seem to have any issue racking up damage or killing once you reach those perfect percents. Both of these space animals are quick and powerful, with tons of combo potential and kill confirms. It's not really a surprise that they found their way to the top of the list alongside Palutena and Snake. Now the thing is, someone could say this is just a popularity tier list and characters like Fox, Wolf, and Palutena are rising because more people are picking them. But I think a perfectly justifiable counterpoint would be that maybe these characters are popular because they're good characters. It's possible that people are picking Wolf and Palutena more often than they were last month because they're realizing the potential that these characters have, and not just because Wolf is edgy and Palutena is a waifu. Unfortunately, I feel like the bottom half of this list is actually more affected by popularity than the top half. In my opinion, characters like Rosalina, Ice Climbers, and Isabelle have a ton of potential and will eventually end up higher on the tier list. Other characters that might not be getting enough attention in my opinion are Marth, Sheik, Zelda, and maybe even Jigglypuff. But what do you think about the month 2 results? Were there any big changes that surprised you? Personally, I think the top half of this list is pretty accurate based on the current competitive meta. but let me know what you think in the comments. Another reminder that all the credit for compiling and organizing this data goes to Covert Ghoul, which you can find on Twitter, and you can also find his spreadsheet link in the video description below. Make sure to give him a follow on Twitter and a thanks for putting all of this information together. If you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and gave another one of my videos a chance. Just click one of them on screen or check the big list of awesome videos in the description below. If you're not new to the channel, well, thanks for coming back and watching more videos. The world needs more people like you. As always, thanks for watching all the way until the end, and happy smashing.